Newsflash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
You're still watching Prime Morning, and my name is Rosalie Felly. The segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone Papa Perfie. I urge you to go to Franco if you're looking for any gadget to get. It's a mobile phones, television sets, CCTV cameras, refrigerators, I mean, many more. We've got them all. Just make sure that you download the app on your phone as well, Franco Trading app, or if you want more inquiries, you can visit our website, www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone Papa Perfie. And the segment is the News Flash segment where we delve into what is happening in our economy. Talking about that, there's a lot of situations happening. Now, the very big one is the porous borders, where we know that our borders are supposed to be very safe. However, there are so many things that happens at our borders, especially fraudulent acts where officials extort monies from these businessmen and women just because they are placed there to protect the place. So there are no taxes. They don't take the taxes. They don't do the right thing, but rather take monies, put it in their pocket, and allow them to, I don't know if I should use the word smuggle goods into the system. We'll talk about that. And also, we'll look at what Honorable Kwesi Kwarteng has said with regards to how the economy is being run in Ghana here. He says successive governments have run it like a Ponzi scheme. And he's expecting that the governments will apologize to Ghanaians for how they have run the economy. And if any government stands up to apologize, then that government will definitely win the votes of the people. Do you agree with him? We'll delve into that as well. Don't forget that we are giving away money this morning as well. And so you have to play the game. What is the code for the game? *281#. We are starting the game now. If you don't start early and you don't win, don't blame anybody. I always say the earlier, the better. So pick up your phone right now, dial *281#. Now, it's for only Telecel users and MTN users. So if you're a Telecel user or you're an MTN user, then this is for you. So it's *281#. Play it now. Play it now. Play as many as possible. That will increase your chances. So *281#. And then you select Joy Prime, which is number 7. So you select number 7, Joy Prime, and then you play. Play as many as possible. When the draw time is up, you get to win, or you stand a chance at winning 1,000 Ghana cedis. Honorable Timothy Awantrim-Atabuade is here. He's representing the NDC, and he's also going to be playing the game right now. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning, Ruth.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. We actually have a game that we are playing. You stand a chance of winning money. So all you have to do is to dial *281#, and then you select Joy Prime, and then you play the game. Yeah. So you'll do it.
I'll do it.
Fantastic. I trust that you'll do it.
I've never played a game, but...
Oh, really? Oh, you can start playing it.
Call. I have to do that.
You can actually start playing it.
Yeah. And sometimes our Christian beliefs do not allow us to go into such...
Oh, no. This one is not
But once it's a game,
okay,
it is worth it. And
right.
Let me say good morning to yourself. Shining and looking beautiful once again.
Thank you so much.
We thank God for that.
Thank you.
This weekend, you saw that we're in Tamale for the launch of our campaign, Change to Reset Ghana, and indeed to reset Ghana and put Ghana on a pedestal that will continue to move forward for the betterment of our people in terms of their economic, social development, and so on, and their general well-being. We need to change this regime and to hand it over to a matured and an experienced and innovative leader and thinker like John Dramani Mahama to reset every sector of our economy that has gone haywire. And we wish to thank the people of Tamale, the executive especially for organizing it. And we want to thank Almighty God for ensuring that people travel to and fro and back without a hint of an accident and so on because of his mercies. There was this guy on social media that was asking that there should be an earthquake there so that he will be satisfied. But you see, your wishes are not like that of the Almighty. If it were so, all of us across the globe would have been dead because our activities and our behavior does not resonate well with the commandments of God and so on. But the most important thing is that everybody is back. I was so elated, and the speeches that were delivered by the various selected party gurus were fantastic. It resonated well, and I must say that it was a well-organized program. And you heard we talked about the Women's Bank and other policies that we are going to roll out to ensure that our people benefit, and for that matter, the country benefits as a whole. So I want to use the opportunity once again to thank all those who made it possible, all those who ensured and even prayed for us that is how a country should be run.
Were you in the north, though?
I was not able to.
You were not able to make it?
Yes,
okay, I was going to ask you a few things about it, but since you were not able to make it, we'll just delve into
No, you can still ask. I watch it 24 hours.
You watch it 24 hours, okay. I'll ask you a few questions later, but then those of you at home, we need you to join us. Yesterday, we aired a documentary.
And that our texter from Tamale, is it something, the one who said there were factories? Which up to now has not brought one factory. The one this one factory. Is there a Konsi Garba or something?
Oh, right.
We are waiting for him since, and interestingly, Vice President Bawumia is touring the north. And they've not mentioned one factory anywhere in the north. They even went to the Bulsa. You saw it, Bulsa North, when they went to my chief. I think you saw it. They've been playing it and all those things. And so we are still waiting for any part of the north where one district, one factory has been built.
I think you'll prove it very soon, very, very soon.
So Isaiah Konsi or Alonso Garba from Tamale.
He's watching us. So
yes, we are waiting for the one district factory.
Earlier, I slipped with the name. It's not Kwesi Kwarteng, it's rather
Kweku Kwarteng. Yeah,
so
it's
he's
right.
the former Deputy Minister of Finance.
Okay.
And his name is Honorable Kweku Kwarteng.
Yeah.
And he spoke about how the economy is being run like a Ponzi scheme. Now, he didn't limit it to only the NPP government. He spoke about both the NPP and the NDC government. But then, he still focused on the NPP government at a point in time. And he said that if any government decides to apologize to the citizens, definitely that person has a chance of winning elections 2024. Do you agree with him? And we'll ask our guest about that. Then, yesterday, there was a documentary that aired on JoyNews. It's still on YouTube, so you can find it. It's called Porous Borders. There are so many things that happens at our borders, and one of these happens to be the fact that officials who are placed there to protect the public interest or the public purse actually does take money into their own pockets. So if you pay them a certain amount of money, then they waive off your tax and you are allowed to bring your goods into the system to sell. Now, these traders say that they prefer that. Some of them actually say they prefer that because even when you pay the tax, you don't get a receipt. And sometimes you pay the tax and they will still take the bribe. So why not just pay the bribe and make your way into the country, sell your goods and make your money? Some also say that when they pay this bribe and they come into the system, they are not able to make enough money off the goods that they've brought into the system. Let's take a look at this. All right.
Checkpoint with these goods without tax stamp from Aplau through to Dabala to Segakope without being flagged. Our movement through these checkpoints was smooth until the customs officials in her mid-30s flagged us to stop at the Sugakope checkpoint. The investigative team assumed this customs official who stopped us was to inspect these goods would get us to pay taxes on the assorted drinks. But we were in for a shocker. She demanded the team pay a bribe of 400 cedis. She allowed us to pay 200 cedis after some minutes of negotiations.
You pay something you want to get.
How much?
400.
I have succeeded in meeting one of the smuggling kingpins in Elubo, who identified himself as Error. For every box of rice he brings from Ivory Coast to Ghana, he charges 20 cedis. It is this amount he pays off to customs officials he works with to facilitate his business. If he can transport 500 bags of rice to Elubo, he will earn 10,000 cedis.
Me charge there saying, and back 26. You ever say be back 300, memo 320. In the meantime, ne dear measure bear 500 bags. It's me drew and my cha. The customs one and see a bear more day. I know the I know about 20 cities in man, me met it. I was 20 cities. I didn't no problem.
The investigative team decided to test these claims made by the traders and commercial drivers. We bought several boxes of rice from neighboring La Côte d'Ivoire. At the Elubo border post, this customs official, who was identified as Kujo, allowed our boxes of rice bought from La Côte d'Ivoire into Ghana. We did not pay the statutory taxes. When the team got to the customs checkpoint at Samir, our vehicle was inspected by two customs officials. They asked me to follow them to their office. They demanded I paid a bribe of 20 cedis and left me to go with the boxes of rice.
So I'm going to use it to celebrate small Xmas.
What do you have?
Rice.
How much?
3.
You are going to use it.
Oh, I'll just down to my pasta. And then other people.
If you pay to be one.
We are in the festive.
The driver should know better. He informs you the nitty-gritty. I'll dash you one and pay for the 2.
The 2, how much would I pay? 20. Thank you very much.
Here's the book for me to use.
Hey, thank you very much.
My number is
I thought you were coming to give me receipt.
Oh. But the receipt is when you pay the duty.
Oh.
The duty is 1 bag.
You're still watching Prime Morning, and of course, that is the porous borders, except of it, and that's what we are talking about this morning. Like, I was just having a conversation with Honorable behind the scenes, and I said GRA has spoken about it. It looks like most complaint comes out of the tax issue, where people feel that we are being taxed too much. One person that was spoken to did say that the taxes are so huge, he would rather pay these officials the amount of money they ask for because it doesn't cost him that much, and he'll still make his profit when he gets into the system. And that is what it is. Honorable.
Yeah, Rosalind, it's a larger picture. This is just a microcosm of the larger picture. Do we know what is happening at our airports, at our ports, the official ports and official routes and so on? We should not just, first of all, let's thank your team for doing a yeoman's job, for trying to unearth how taxes are leaked and the corruption behind all those vis-a-vis other issues that they unearth. You see, if you read the report on illicit money outflows from this part of the world, including Ghana, trillions of dollars for the past 30 years. It is over so many trillions of dollars that have left here. How did they leave? They left because of corrupt, what do you call it? custom officials, and GRA workers. Listen to me carefully. The report did say, and this report was presented in South Africa those days by Thabo Mbeki, and all the finance ministers of Africa met there. And they were looking at the fact that illicit money outflows, that include taxes, especially by these big multinational companies, because of their ambience and their capacity, tax officials, custom officers, and GRA workers have often allowed them to go through to repatriate monies, not using the legal route. And they just take paltry sums of money. The custom officers are satisfied when they even take small sums of money. So it is a larger picture than what has happened. So we must look at it from a very realistic and a broader view of how illicit monies are left out there. The question is, what makes the goods from Côte d'Ivoire or elsewhere cheaper, such a way that traders from this part of the world can go there and bribe and still come and then make profit?
Yeah, I think it was another thing that, showed in the documentary where a carting, as of that time, a carting of, I think, Malta Guinness was being sold at 90 Ghana cedis or 92 Ghana cedis in Togo, and same was being sold at 172 cedis in Ghana.
Yes. So, and in Ghana, don't we manufacture Malta Guinness here? We do. Am I right? Guinness Ghana do that. And yet the cost is high. It tells you the number of nuisance taxes we put on consumables. Whether consumables or the other way, the taxes are heavy. As I talked to you this morning, 40 taxes. Imagine the sanitary pass for women. Sanitary pass for women. Over 15 taxes are put on them. Imagine we are going to clear a car. Over so many taxes. The taxes are almost like they repeat themselves. On one good, on one clearance, it demotivates people who wants to pay realistic taxes and so on. Because people can read and people can make analysis and show that these taxes are not realistic. Sometimes that's why we keep talking about the nuisance. There are taxes that rather subjugate businesses. They do not allow the expansion of businesses. People's capital are being eroded by the day because of the cedi trade dollar and inflation and so on. And I'm not saying that this thing doesn't say that it didn't begin years back, but we are looking at the quantum as we move forward. If the capital that you use in starting our business continue to erode, such a way that if $100,000 could buy you 10 cartons and today you are buying 5 cartons, you must devise it. It's a human phenomenon.
But we haven't seen any government come in to make sure that our taxes are reformed in a way that the citizens have some sort of rest.
Rosalie, I'm coming. Look, let me tell you, what did this current government tell us? They told us about nuisance taxes and that they were going to move the economy from taxation into production that would stop the nuisance taxes. And they said that because our government at the time was classified as lazy and incompetent. And they were going to move. In fact, they told us about the disadvantage of overtaxing businesses. And that apart from that, they create unemployment. Business lose jobs. Look, as we talked this morning, you know the number of businesses that have moved out of this country because of unprofitability. They did that because of the enormous taxes that have been put on them. You go to your local market to buy frozen chicken, buy frozen fish, and the seller would tell, the retailer would tell you how much taxes that has been put on it. So it's an everyday phenomenon. How do we move out of it? How are our taxes used to build this country to ensure that people who are prepared to pay their tax, people are conscious, people are indeed prepared to pay taxes. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Look at us. We're in this country. A minister can come before Parliament without no law, ban, what do you call it, tolls, because an e-levy is coming. And remember all these goods that they go to buy. Sometimes they pay with e-money and so on. They pay taxes and so on. So for me, I am not in any way saying that what they are doing is the best. Now let's come to custom officers.
But then let me ask you this. The problem is not about a government. The problem is about successive governments.
That is what I said.
Yes, because Honorable, we have seen this happen time and again.
Yeah.
Under your government, we saw
Yes,
it happen.
I didn't say
so. What can be done? Because like
Rosalie,
all
if
the
we
time
don't
we have
diagnose
politicians
it, I agree.
sit and they talk about, especially when you're in opposition.
Yes.
It's very good to speak about the fact that mine did it, but it was better.
I agree. I am not taking it.
So if the NDC should win power, if the NDC should win power, how are you going to fight?
I am coming there. You remember Mills himself has to talk when he went to the ports to meet customs officers. He was so disappointed to the extent that he even mentioned that every young man wants to work with customs, what is in customs and so on, and he was going to do. It takes courage, it takes boldness, it takes leadership.
But it didn't stop it.
They did not stop it because, but you see, when the floodgates are open, is the issue for your team risked their life doing this. There's so much risk in it. Now, your team and your outfit will be disappointed if this documentary is shown and nothing has happened to it. At least we cannot completely eradicate because there will always be bad nuts. But the institution should not be seen to be encouraging it. The institution that employs them should be seen to be taking concrete measures. That's why I told you, even the legal routes, people are being extorted. People even pay taxes and they are extorted on the taxes. Sometimes the items that they detain some of them for personal use. We've all gone through these things. And let me tell you this, even the institution customs itself, look, I don't know, even some of these things, when they come, they try to even defend the officers. So we should have institutions that have the capacity and the independence to be able to go into this and publicly punish public officers for that. We know that we live among these officers who have their lifestyle are completely different from public service work, including you and I, and so on. That is how come
because
every
of the bribes they take.
Every young, yes, obviously, it's not by what we pay them. Every young officer, I want to work with GRA, I want to work with custom. Then why do you want to work with custom? You ask them. They are not even entering the custom with the intention to work diligently for the people of this country. They are entering there with a different CV. The CV is to make money and to acquire wealth and to live in a luxurious way for which people applaud them. So for me, I think where it has gotten to, no one should deny the documentary. We do not need explanation from public officers. Your outfit risked their life in terms of money, in terms of their own life to do this thing. Let us see how this documentary can be the beginning of trying to ensure that we minimize it to the barest minimum.
But this is not the first time we've seen a documentary,
that's what I'm saying.
And that is what is even worrying because we've seen Anas do this kind of experience.
Yes, we've seen Anas do that.
Where did it get to?
Where did it get to? Yes, you are right, my sister. You are right because successive governments have failed to deal with it drastically. Why? Because we all need to be informants. We all need to assist the system to do that. The institution itself must take its activities seriously. In fact, you are sworn to do work for the people of this country and not to satisfy your whims and caprices. You understand? Customs themselves, they know of it. You are right, Anas has done it. Anas lost a personnel because of that and so on. People who fight corruption in this part of the world is huge. Look, Auditor General report will tell you, even that one that is even before Parliament, how have we done it? Are you getting it? Even what has been unearthed by Auditor General, the illicit money outflows that I'm telling you is documented. The president talked about it. The current president even talked about it and so on. It is not, the issue is that when you look at the larger picture, even those arriving at our airports, that passes through the right road. Look at the corruption that is there. People items are even literally stolen. Look, recently you've seen the immigration service people mounting barriers across the length and breadth of this country, apparently trying to check foreigners. You know what happened? Normally, when they get people, they send it to their offices there, where the offices are located, and they extract money from them because people are not holding national ID cards or voter ID or traveling document. I've had that severally, and I challenge them severally. Even on the way from Sanama to Tumu, from Sanama to Navrongo to Bolga, they are on the way. I've gotten that and challenged them before. So it's not an issue of I'm making it. It has happened to me. Right. I've traveled through the road from Accra to to Nigeria. I know what happened there. I know what happened there and so on. So it's a major issue. It's cancerous. We must apply a lot of chemotherapy to this aspect to ensure that the cancerous cells have been uprooted. I am not...
That is, if it can be. For me, I think that the issue is, like you said, you know, we have people who go there in their own interest.
Yeah.
They make the money in their own interest. What about government telling us that they are into digitalization? So it's going to even eradicate this.
Yes.
But we are not seeing that. It's even getting worse.
It's even,
now, one of these business women actually said that she pays taxes, but she never gets receipts for the tax.
Yeah.
And because she's an illiterate, she can't even read. So sometimes they give her a paper.
That is even less.
She gets somewhere, then they tell her that, no, that is not a tax money. That's not a tax receipt. What you paid for has nothing to do with it. So you still have to pay the bribe.
So, Rosalind, yes, you are talking about digitalization and so on. Is it for propaganda purposes? Is it for the fact that it has come, yes, to reduce the contact between human and money? And I think that is the issue. That is the major issue we should do. We should ensure that we reduce the human contact. And when you do that, you would gradually have a reduction of it. And I think that the institutions themselves, why? If the institutions are always rated by corrupt agencies like GIA, then they'll put the police first, GIA second. Does it suit them? Does it give a good picture out there? We've had even foreigners who have complained how much they came here to do businesses and they've been extorted and so on. The documentary is abound. I think most of your stations or so. When we do this, we are destroying not just the country. Not only are we reducing revenue, that would have translated into the development of this country in terms of infrastructure, in terms of employment and so on. But we create a very bad image with our development partners, with our countries around. How come that we are not seeing such reports within our neighbors? Because I know that...
Maybe we just haven't looked into what our neighbors are
but
doing,
I know that it is sometimes
But
difficult.
Nigeria too.
Nigeria, I don't want to. Don't go there. I don't want to go to Nigeria.
They are something else.
Even my passport was detained at Nigeria airport.
Oh, they are something else.
And we were 4 members of parliament. So they just, you know what they told me? That, honorable diplomatic passport. I said, yes. Now, is that your call? Oh, let them go and then you will take the rest. When I waited, they delayed me, apparently because they wanted money.
Yeah.
And yet when you get to the airport, it's written there boldly. No corruption, no bribe, anything. Yet you know you have to pay. Before my brother, I had a friend who was working with the World Bank. And the guy told me about the Nigerian experience. And he told me that since that time, he will not transit through Nigeria. And when it happened, the Nigerian customs officer told him, he took his passport. World Bank worker looked at it and said, there's no page 10. He took the 10, looked at it and said, oh, there's page 10. He said, wow, there's no page 10. Okay, I'm saying there's no page 10. You are saying it's page. He didn't understand. He thought that one leaf left from his passport had been torn out.
It was the money that
was the money.
Wow.
And when that happened, it took the World Bank itself. It took so many before he could get his passport. And that passport was mutilated to the extent that he has to do a new passport. Wow. So I can, for Nigeria or Ghana, I don't want to go there, but I think that institutions must begin to even, the corruption in it, the institution itself must be interested. It's not just about government.
Talking about
they themselves must be interested to ensure that they clean their names and they make
I think that we have a system that we ought to fix. There's a problem, and I know Honorable Ayepe will also speak to it. But before I bring him in, are you playing? Are you playing quick cash? Are you winning? Are you sure you win? Are you sure? How many times have you played? Well, pick up your phone right now, dial *281#. *281#. Now, don't just play once, because if you play once, the possibility that you'll be picked is really, really low. So play as many as possible. *281#. Select number 7, which is Joy Prime. And when you select it, you make sure that you play as many as possible. So keep playing and increase your chance of winning. I'll be stopping the clock very soon, where one person will get 1,000 Ghana cedis. So play and play. You could be
It's
the
hash
lucky
what?
person. Star 281 hash. And then you select Joy Prime, which is number 7. And then you play. You can play 5 CDs, you can play 10 CDs, you can play 15 CDs. You can play. The more you play, the more your chance of winning. Honorable Ayupe has joined us, and he's representing the NPP. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning, my sister. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you too?
By the grace, I'm fine.
Great.
Timothy, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
By the grace, I'm fine.
Great. It's good to have you here, Honorable.
Yes. Sorry for
that's
being
okay.
later. I have to go to... I went to how do you call it?
JoyNews.
Peace FM.
Peace, okay.
The platform.
Okay.
So I got home around 11 p.m. yesterday. That delayed me this morning.
Your work is not easy.
Sorry.
He's working hard, but he has not been compensated. That's what is the
You'll be compensated.
I have.
So,
My compensation is to see MPP in power.
but you know you are gone. You are gone
That
already.
is exactly what
Maybe
what
not
I'm
2025.
I'm praying for.
They are gone.
Let me greet your viewers and greet the President, His Excellency Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the Vice President, who doubles as the running mate for the MPP 2024 election, and inshallah, the next president of this country.
He doubles
They
as
were
the presidential candidate.
Yes.
You said the running mate.
Oh, sorry. The presidential candidate, the fiber of the MPP. He was in the north, the 5 northern regions, and indeed, the people up there have accepted him as one of theirs. And they have seen it, that we've enjoyed one of ours the last time, and this time around, one of us is coming again. We prefer 8 years to 4 years. So they are actually accepting Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Apart from that, if they look at the numerous projects, developmental projects, infrastructure development that are springing up across the 5 northern regions of this country, they see no reason why they should not bring him, because the man is the driver's mate. He's the vice president, and a lot is going on up north. So he becomes the seat in front of the steer and become the driver himself. They are going to receive more than necessary. Before we go to your issues, something is happening tomorrow. Big thing. I don't understand why the media is not discussing.
Which one is it?
Tomorrow is Wednesday.
Yeah.
And at the Flagstaff Square, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's government is going to inaugurate and unveil over 1,000 earth-moving equipment,
Useless
of which every constituency, all the 275 constituencies are going to benefit between 7 and 9 pieces of assorted road equipment, earth-moving equipment. We have noticed that, yes, we have worked, yes, we have constructed many roads, but if you go to the constituencies, some of the gravel roads, which when you shape within 3-6 months, it needs to be reshaped. So the Ministry of Roads and Highways is not having the capacity to do that. So we are empowering the assemblies and give them the capacity to assist the Ministry of Roads and Highways and its agencies to make continuous reshaping and regraveling of all roads.
We have to go into
all gravel roads in this country.
Let's go into
so the big day is tomorrow, Wednesday.
I know once it's done. I know once it's done.
Exactly. I just want to
so let's go into our topic. I think you've seen the documentary, the Porous Borders documentary. You have, right?
Well, I haven't.
You haven't seen it yet? Okay, so I don't know if our producer will be able to play just a snippet for you to understand what we are discussing. So please, can we play a snippet of the Porous Borders for Honorable Ayupe so he can understand it? Thank you.
I thought you were coming to give me receipt.
We have driven through several checkpoints with these goods without tax stamp from Aplau through to Dabala to Segakope without being flagged. Our movement through these checkpoints was smooth until the customs officials in her mid-30s flagged us to stop at the Segakope checkpoint. The investigative team assumed this customs official who stopped us is to inspect these goods would get us to pay taxes on the assorted drinks. But we were in for a shocker. She demanded the team pay a bribe of 400 cedis. She allowed us to pay 200 cedis after some minutes of negotiations. I have succeeded in meeting one of the smuggling kingpins in Elubo, who identified himself as Error. For every box of rice he brings from Ivory Coast to Ghana, he charges 20 cedis. It is this amount he pays off to customs officials he works with to facilitate his business. If he can transport 500 bags of rice to Elubo, he will earn 10,000 cedis.
Me charge there saying, and you ever say be about 300, number 320. In the meantime, the measure 500 bags. It's me drew and much church. The customs one and see a very modern. I know about 20 cedis in man, me met it. I was 20 cedis. I didn't no problem.
The investigative team decided to test these claims made by the traders and commercial drivers. We bought several boxes of rice from neighboring La Côte d'Ivoire. At the Elubo border post, this customs official, who was identified as Kujo, allowed our boxes of rice bought from La Côte d'Ivoire into Ghana. We did not pay the statutory taxes. When the team got to the customs checkpoint at Samir, our vehicle was inspected by two customs officials. They asked me to follow them to their office. They demanded I paid a bribe of 20 cedis and left me to go with the boxes of rice.
So I'm going to use to celebrate small S-man.
What do you have?
Rice.
How much?
3.
You are going to use it.
I'll just come to my pastor. And then other people.
If it is one.
We are in the festive.
The driver should know better. When he takes you, he informs you the nitty-gritty.
So this is a documentary that was aired on our sister channel, that's Joy News and Joy FM. It's actually on YouTube, so you can take a look at it. The full documentary is on there. Are you playing the game, though? Are you playing the game to win the cash? Well, quick cash, we're giving away free money, 1,000 Ghana cedis. In the next probably 10 minutes, we'll do this. And so play it now, star 281 hash, and then you select number 7, which is Joy Prime, and you play as many as possible, okay? So you can play. You can play up to 10, 100 times, 200 times, and you stand a chance of winning up to 1,000 Ghana cedis.
Do you qualify? You don't qualify.
No, everybody qualifies. Everybody qualifies.
Hey, you don't know this.
So you can actually play it yourself too. Everybody qualifies. Because nobody can. You can't tell the numbers out. So play now. Play now. Once you have Telecel, once you have MTN, play now. Play. What did you select? It depends on what you selected.
Joy Prime.
Yes.
Then it was 5 CDs.
Yes.
Then you say how many, and I put the 5.
So it will be 25. Yes.
5 times 5.
Oh no, but only 25 cities. Don't do that.
Rosalind.
Don't do that.
It's the problem
play
with
now.
the NDC. They will not read to know the rules, and then you quickly go in.
Honorable has played 5 times. Congratulations. I'm hoping that you win. I hope you win. Honorable, you have to play. Your government is in power, so play 10.
Well, yes, if I'll read to know the rules and regulations.
There's no
so that I will not do 5 times 5 and then come and tell Ghanaians that they've taken a lot from.
Yeah. Because I don't have
let's listen to the tape and what happened. You see, I traveled to Czech Republic some years back, and there's the Ghanaian who has married a Czech lady giving birth to an 18-year-old girl. So we went to one of their tourist centers, and the girl, the young girl, was 18 the day before we went there. So the father, being a Ghanaian, was thinking that, oh, my daughter was just 18 years yesterday. And where we went, if you are underage, 18 and below 18, you are not supposed to pay, it's free. So when we were paying the ticket to enter, the man, they were asking, what about this? Are you not paying? Then the father said, oh, it's just under 18. But Daddy, I was 18 yesterday, I have to pay. We were embarrassed. Then the father just dipped his hand into his pocket and pay. You see, so it's the attitude of the Ghanaian. You know, the child born in Czech and grew up as Czech was asking the father that I was 18 yesterday, so I have to pay. So the attitude of the Ghanaian. At times, even if you work and you don't do some of those things to get a lot of money home, your family members will look at the most useless person ever that they have seen in their family. So fighting this, I think we should start right from the kindergarten and try to put in our young children the non-corruption nature of it. The system, because of the platform, we don't have enough to share my experience.
Share a bit of it.
When I completed Accra Technical University, Accra Polytechnic, I was sent to AME, Waste Management Department, as a transport monitoring officer. So my duty was to monitor the number of waste trucks that enter the dump sites. So I was working independently from the dump site managers. And I reported directly to the director of Waste Management Department. And you know, a young guy from school, I want to impress my employers. So the first day that I went to the site, I recorded 155 trucks a day. Then the managers came to me. They wanted to know the number of trucks that I have recorded. Meanwhile, the orientation given to us, they told us that we should not allow the managers and the workers at the dump to even come closer to us. Because we are monitoring officers. They want to know how many trucks enter the dump sites and the reports given to them by their managers. They pressed upon us, the two national service personnel that have been sent there. Later, we got to know that they were having about 26 trucks, whilst we have recorded 155 or 56 trucks. This continued for some time. Revenue to the Assembly Waste Management Department started increasing. Then quickly I was moved from Achimota to where at the coast, near the coast, they have another landfill site over there. I was sent there. Well, before I was sent to Tishi, I was moving all around, thinking that I've been moving around because of my good work. Not knowing the managers have reported any station that they sent me to, the envelope that should go every Friday was either reduced or was seized. And when they find out from the manager, say that young guy you have brought does not allow us to get something to be sent to the office. Wow. So if you want something to be sent to the office, then I have to move to the next, and the next. So the system is difficult. One person cannot fight it alone unless we all come together and say that, hey, we are stopping this. Let us move forward as a country. If you are at the bottom and you start to fight it, the top will crash you. So if you are at the top and you want to do it, the bottom will crash you. Have you not been hearing that out for MPP, when you come to power, to which you don't steal the money for us also to benefit.
That's not what I've heard, though.
What did you hear?
I heard something else.
That like
I haven't heard anything like NPP
don't digress because what you are saying is
for
not
you
true.
to spend. I haven't heard that one.
Well, me, I have heard it.
Okay.
And listeners or viewers will attest to this. So for me, these things can stop if all of us, those at the top and the bottom, decide I want to move this country forward. A church member reported a case to me that his imported items had been seized. After the container had been cleared, on the way to his warehouse, a task force intercepted, and they asked him to go and pay some penalty. But the question here is, who cleared the container to get out of the harbor? Until he was about to get to his warehouse before the container was intercepted.
So
apparently, when it was intercepted, some items in there, he paid the duty all right. But I think that's something they call excess. Like, for instance, if the phones are 10, then they said, oh, it is 8.
Okay.
The 2, you haven't paid the 2 on it. So who inspected the items? Who asked him to pay the duty for the 8? Who asked the container to exit the port? So now the task force is saying that, oh, you have 2 items in this container you haven't paid duty for. Kindly go back and pay. But the person, the importer, will be punished unnecessarily. I'm saying this because, for all you know, when I listened to my friend, the fleet forwarder, the agents, that's how we call them, said that, look, you have to pay this much for this container. He gave the money to the agent to clear for him. The agent will say that, oh, this is the items you have declared.
You know, one of them actually did speak on the fact that even the taxes are so high, so they would rather pay these bribes. So should we look at our taxes as well?
Please, let us situate it properly.
No, but
if the taxes are high,
somebody said.
If the taxes are high, it is another discussion for us to make. But there's no excuse. Also, why can't they say that, oh, you have excess that you did not declare? Because the taxes are high, okay, go.
No, it's not excess declaration.
What did they say? So you see, the porous borders, there are sessions to it. There's one lady who actually did say that she would rather pay this bribe because when she looks at the tax that she'll pay is so much. And when she gets to the border and the person says, pay 200 cedis, when they calculate it on a bottle of drink, it's like 20 pesos. So they would rather pay that than to pay that huge sum of money on tax.
If you reduce the tax by 90%, somebody may still want to pay a bribe lower than the tax that you are taking to get his things off the port. If you like, reduce the tax to... They are only
but
saying
it will
that
still reduce corruption in a way.
It will never. That is what they say when they got arrested. If you reduce it by 90%, the 10% left for them to pay, they will prefer to pay something lesser than the 10%.
But if I should have a tax system where I am paying something like 20 pesos on a bottle, and I know that you will take the same 20 pesos on a bottle, I would rather pay tax.
But they will not take 20% of the bottle. If you are paying tax of, say, 100 cedis on this phone, and government says that, oh, I want to help the importers, pay 50 cedis. Okay, when it is 100 cedis, the one taking the bribe may take 20 cedis and allow you to go. When you reduce this to 50 cedis, the one taking the bribe will say that, okay, pay 5 cedis and go. And the importer always wants to make that 15 cedis import. So whatever reduction that will mean, they will still want to pay. And most of these things are not from the importers. I am the middleman, the agent. In my friend's case, for instance, if you said, if I pay this amount, the container will get to my destination, and I've given the money to you, then they go to do this under declaration, put the importer in a mess. Anyway. Now, the penalty is that you have to pay about 300% or so for this. So what I'm trying to say and conclude on this is that we should try, all of us as Ghanaians, come into a conclusion. Listen to what happened. The lady was... It is something... Because maybe the camera has captured it. That is why we are discussing it.
But they never knew that the camera was.
Yes, I'm saying that is why we are discussing it today. It is something that is happening every day, every corner, every office. That is why
do we stop it?
We have to stop it by using the digitalized system
but
to
digitalized
control
system
it.
is in the system.
It is.
So what is happening?
It is,
but we are still seeing this.
Yes, it is. It is, but we must also try to improve it. We have paperless system at our ports.
Yes, but still
yes,
there's corruption there.
but it has reduced the corruption to a certain minimum.
How did it reduce it?
It has.
How
You just said don't forget.
You have somebody, a friend of
yes, it doesn't.
Who went to
I am not saying that because of the digitalization and the paperless system at the harbour, corruption is not going on there. Listen to my words, see, it has reduced. It has reduced means that we still have some few ones that have been able to outsmart the system. For that one, you have it. But when it comes looking at the revenue that was generated for government before the paperless system and after the paperless system, definitely you will know that, yes, the system has reduced. Looking at how it operates, human interface has reduced a bit. And as soon as you put a system to reduce the human interface, at the same time, you are trying to reduce corruption as well. So it has reduced it to a certain level. But we need to do more. We need to do more to prevent this human interface. So at the end of the day, we can even not zero corruption, we can bring it to the acceptable minimum level, a level that will be acceptable.
Zero corruption is what we fight for.
You see, Rosalind.
Let's see if we have some comments, Honorable, then I come to you. I hope that our comments, I think the comments are ready. Let me quickly read a few comments, and then I'll come to you on it. And this segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still phone Papa Per Fie. And don't forget to go to Franco for all your gadgets. This one says, Rosalind, in fact, Ghanaians are more than wise and intelligent. We are tired of these state looters and their lies. No matter what they do to cover their devilish and conscious plans to steal our properties through their Japadia schemes will not wash. Angel Gabriel can try to polish and distance himself from the book. No reasonable and thinking Ghanaian would take them serious. If they are in doubt, they should listen to some of their sensible ones, among them like Honorable Kweku Kwating, Siba Al-Hassan Zungo Caucus. Meshoga Asante Atamasaman says, if MPP think they are going to share northern region with NDC because their candidate is from the north, then they should immediately revise their notes and start preparing themselves to opposition. The good people of Tamale have already given them a defeat signal last Saturday, and no amount of machination can change that. 24-hour economy is all the way. 24-hour economy all the way, sorry. Said in Apenyo, incoming MP Amasaman. All right. According to Dr. Baumia, everything is possible in Ghana, so it's possible for President Nana Addo and Finance Minister Oforiatta to give contracts to a company that does not exist, which belongs to President Nana Addo's daughter. It's possible for Finance Minister Oforiatta to approve $34 million to be paid for spare parts for ambulances, the cost of which can buy a brand new ambulance and still have several dollars in balance. The irony is that Ghanaians whose monies are being misused in such gargantuan manner are very quiet, thanks to our religion. Well done, Ghana. Patrick in Accra. Patrick, we are not quiet. We'll try and bring this topic up again because, yes, this expose has revealed a lot. I know last week Honorable said he didn't know much about the expose, but I think right now you know. Now we've also heard that the company, that ambulance saga company, actually belongs to the president's daughter. If Dr. Baumia said everything is possible, why can't he make $1 to 1 cedi from Ablade Ifeku Mazungu Takrade? 2024 elections, all the opinion polls conducted go in favor of John Mahama, but still NDC leadership should not be complacent. They should keep working hard until John Mahama declares winner from Ablade Ifeku Mazungu. Rosalind, good morning. In fact, exactly what happened before Rollins led a coup and succeeded is the same thing coming back under this NPP. Sorry, excessive corruption, taking bribe before posting of professionals, few people having fat monies in their accounts, food became expensive and only rich people can afford, hence the control price system and season of fat accounts belonging to the politicians and their allies. Judges passing wrong judgment due to corruption, etc. MPP should be very careful and learn from Burkina Faso's head of state. They should know the Ghanaians will compare how much they spend a day under Mahama and under NPP before voting. John Achim Tafo. Rosalind, thank you for such footage. I wonder why people are using the system to get money for themselves without thinking about the welfare of the country. Almost all the security agencies are corrupt, especially police and GRA officers. I would task you to conduct research on police who stand by the roadside to collect money from ordinary drivers and citizens, which is rather unfortunate, apart from talking about this, anytime I meet the police and I let them know that I'm in the media, they say, hey, go, 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 we don't want problem. I've had it like 3-4 times. There's this policeman who actually stopped me and said he was searching my car. I said, go ahead and search the car. Now, after searching the car, he saw my ID and he said, madam, where do you work? I said, I work at multimedia. He said, hey, madam, you made me search your car. I said, you're doing your work. He said, no, madam, you shouldn't have done that. It's fine, though. Ahasa Cisse from Zenu Central says, corruption in Ghana today is no more a crime under this looting brigade, whose officials are grabbing state properties like there is no judgment day. This current President Nana Akufo-Addo and Bawumia have failed in all sectors of our economy, and come December 7, 2024, Ghanaians should vote them out of government. Oyibo Boateng from Echuma, is it Neribehi? I'm sorry. I'm very confident that Dr. Bawumia is the only candidate who can salvage Ghana's economy using his digitalization agenda transformation, so Ghanaians should give him the opportunity. Indeed, it's possible. Greetings to Honorable Amwa Awuku, MCE Echuma in Wabiaja South, and Shirley Cheitiwa, incoming MP Echuma in Wabiaja South. Oyibo Boateng. Honorable Timothy should have advised former President Mahama not to sell the Tema Port to his friend, Mr. Vincent Bolari, for $7 billion for 35 years for importers pay taxes to the government than paying to Mr. Vincent Bolari, so that taxes at Tema Port are reduced from Ajenim Boateng Dome Pillar 2. Good morning, beautiful Rosalind. Parliament yesterday passed the Ghana Shippers Authority Bill 2024. The bill seeks to empower the GSA to streamline the arbitrary charges by shippers and ship owners on imported goods. It also seeks to protect and preserve the freight forwarding businesses to only Ghanaians without the involvement of any foreigners. When the new law is assented by the President, neither a shipper nor shipper owner can impose unjustifiable container and other handling charges without the approval of the GSA. This new law is game changer because its ripple impact of reducing import duties paid at the port by importers. This law is a strong campaign message to importers and consumers, since it goes to affirm Dr. Bawumia's promise of streamlining import duties at our port. Abdulaziz Jibani. It's good. Implementation is the problem. It's very good. Implementation has been our problem for a very long time. The issue of corruption at our checkpoints has to do with the nature of our recruitment processes. These days, employment is sold to these people, and so they go into the service to amass wealth for themselves and not to work in the interest of the country. Rosalind, I can tell you on authority that I've never seen or heard the Customs Division advertising or selling forms for recruitment, yet persons are being recruited at all times. How is this possible? The politicians are, after wrapping our economy and running it down, have at this point resorted to hijack areas like GRA for their relatives to continue milking this nation. I urge the media to make an effort to hold this government accountable for the secret recruitments to save this country. Good morning to the venerable and respected politician, Honorable Timothy Awontrimatabo from Daniel Akpaliok Sandema. I'm Awuja K. Delali, watching you live from Breakroom. Keep up the good work. What is going on our borders is so pathetic and flabbergasted. To be honest, Sister Rosalind, you're too much. Thank you so much. Good morning, Rosalind. Mr. Mahama and NDC is not serious. Mr. Mahama said 4 years is not enough for any government to bring change, and he's here talking about resets in every sector of the economy within 4 years. Seriously, Mr. Mahama has only 12 months when elected. Below are the breakdowns: 1 year for selection of ministers, 1 year for payment of monies they borrowed for the campaign, and another year for elections. I think Ghanaians should consider someone they can hold accountable after 4 years, not a leader who would not be accountable after 4 years. Though things are hard and NDC is not the option, accountability after 4 years is important. Mr. Akanlo Rudolph from Wa. All right, I'll read this last one. I have a lot, but I'll read this last one and I'll come back to you. Good morning to you and your guests. People refuse to pay tax because the politicians used to live a lavish lifestyle and not even care for the ordinary people. They cannot even pay the citizens well when they work. Cost of food items is high. Because of this, a lot of people will evade taxes. And this is what some people are thinking. People are actually thinking that the monies that are put into our tax, or the taxes that we pay, go into the pockets of these politicians. Let's go on Facebook and take some comments as well. So we'll take some comments from Facebook very soon. Honorable, you wanted to make a point.
Yes, two things. There's this guy who tests
Yes, please.
should advise John Mama to sold the thermal port to a friend. It's not true. First of all, did he get information from parliamentary document, from Auditor General report? You cannot sell a whole institution like that without knowing the basis of it. Members of Parliament will not allow that. And the people of Ghana should have been publicized and so on. So it's not even true.
It's true. I was a member of the Rules and Transport Committee in Parliament when this issue came. Yes, it was approved by Parliament, I agree. But the fact is that the Tema Harbour, the Terminal 3, had been given to Borali for 35 years on concession. Maybe the word he used had been sold out. But when he say concession, concession simply means that it had been given to you, whether you buy it for free or not.
So wait, he's supposed to manage it? Is that what it is?
Build, operate for 35
operate
years.
and transfer.
And transfer.
Okay.
That's exactly what.
And it is not the only project. In fact, most projects...
You said it wasn't true.
But
it is true.
All right.
Except that maybe the way he captured it.
So in a way...
But the fact that I was expecting you to explain that no, it has not been sold, but it has been given on concession for 35 years. The man said, yes, it's been given out for 35 years, it's true. The man said that it was given to the Frenchman.
Okay, so...
The man said that...
All right, gentlemen. Gentlemen, let me read some messages from Facebook. Gentlemen, let me read some messages.
Say that it has not been sold, but the man also mentioned certain facts that were true.
All right, gentlemen, let me read some comments. Gentlemen, please. Gentlemen, please. Akisme from Setri Bekwai says...
I'm not aware that the concession has been given. And the man mentioned 35.
Gentlemen, I need to read my comments, please. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Please. But nobody is saying that giving
Honorable Ayepe, Honorable
Awoshin.
Okay. Regards to Honorable Kofi Bente Afo, popularly known as Kofi Kofi, NDC parliamentary candidates for Setri Yoso, President Anado made and promised to use Anas principle to combat corruption. But ironically, he's now seen as fighting against the very principles of accountability and transparency that Anas represents. This is a stark contradiction to his initial vow, and it's clear that his actions have not matched his words. It's disappointing to see the president's efforts being undermined by his own contradiction. Asemo Atija. Aaron Beba Kokokomisa says one of the key policies that the government can implement is providing financial support to infund industrial through grants, low interest loans, and tax incentives. Access to finance is often cited as one of the biggest barriers to growth for small businesses, and government support can help alleviate this burden and enable these businesses to invest in technology, innovation, and expansion. Ediga Dumba says, good morning. I think the Honorable, at any time they say is wrongdoing in this government, he never want to talk about it. Oh, okay. Thanks for playing the video for him. Let's see what he has for us. Thank you, Eddie from WA. Right, you can also send in your messages to us on Facebook or on our WhatsApp platform, and we will definitely read it. Are you playing the game? Are you going to win the 1,000 Ghana cedis? *281#. Start playing now. *281# and select Joy Prime, which is number 7. Try as much as possible to keep playing. Play, 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 because the more you play, the more your chances of winning in this 1,000 Ghana cedis. Okay, so play now. Pick up your phone right now. Now, you have to be either a Telecel user or an MTN user. And then you dial *281#, *281#. Select the option 7, and then play the game. All right, so play. Don't play 1, don't play 2, play more. That's your chance of winning. And as much as you play, you could win up to 1,000 Ghana cedis this morning. Anyway, so
on the tax issue, you see, there's difference between evasion of taxes or underpayment or done. When I bribe you to do something for me, we must get that issue very clear. I'm distinguishing that between when he was giving the examples. What we are talking about is that they were not paying the right taxes because custom officers at the borders were taking money and allowing them to go. Like you rightly put it, someone also said that he'd rather pay them and go away because even if he pays, he's not giving the right receipts and so on.
Yeah.
What it means is that people are not necessarily against the payment of taxes, but are the taxes being properly accounted for? And I told you that this morning, and which all of us we know and people know, is that even sanitary pads, more than 15 taxes have been put on sanitary pads.
By the NDC government, see that.
So when you said you were coming,
I think this is
when you said when you were coming to reduce nuisance taxes,
no, you are creating an impression. You are creating an impression as if the tax was put by this government. It was put by the NDC. I condemn the taxing of sanitary pads. I condemn it 100%. But don't create an impression that that tax was put by this government. It was put in 2014 by the NDC government. Say that and continue. Then you can go ahead and blame us for not removing it.
Look,
don't create an impression as if we came to introduce it.
Didn't Ken Oforiatta stood on the floor, Parliament, and told that oh, please.
Say that. I agree with you. Say that.
Including Kaya.
Yes, so say that.
So you didn't see anything wrong with the fact that taxes...
Let your listeners know that the tax on sanitary pads was put in 2014.
No, but they are not. We are saying that how many years have they been in power?
But you introduced it.
They are still taxing...
So the mistake is that it's been made by both political parties. Now, the first mistake was that you put a tax on there, and the second mistake is that the NPP
refused
to
remove it.
That's it.
But the good news is that it has been removed.
No, it hasn't been.
It hasn't been removed.
It hasn't been.
Even this budget, you did not remove it.
It is.
Oh no, but
even
they said in Parliament that they were going to remove it, but it hasn't.
That's
been
the controversy they have been talking about.
No,
you let me finish my
story.
Because when I go by my pad, it's still the same.
Maybe the retailers have.
Oh, he is using a luxury pad.
No, it's not luxury.
No.
I mean, it's termed as a luxury product.
Yeah.
But the taxes on there are still there on the
Yeah, there.
You finish.
And look at one car, clearing one car. Look at the number of taxes that are put on it. COVID tax, boiler tax, emission, all those are on one car. We've discussed the issues here and over. So when you unnecessarily put nuisance taxes on products, it leads to people finding other ways to circumvent the system and not pay the right tax and so on. Especially when people know that the tax you are taking have not been used for the development. They travel on the road from here to Ivory Coast. They know how the roads are. You've taken taxes over 412 billion Ghana cedis. And so if people cannot see that the taxes are being used for development and they travel on the projects, it will, the issue is that let's avoid it. The second thing is, like I told you here, how come that the people can still pay that and still make profits on the items that they are smuggling into this country, and yet when they buy it from the Ghana ones, they cannot make profits?
Well, they said that the Ghana ones are very expensive.
It's expensive.
And the taxes on there
you
are
understand?
high.
The taxes are high. Businesses have moved here because of the taxes. 40 taxes have been put on the people of this country. We're expecting that even this mid-year budget, there were some taxes like the COVID tax, the emissions tax, e-levy and whatnot. Government should have removed them. But they are still stuck there because this government is doing everything by taxation. Without taxes, they cannot create any system to be able to make money for this country. So when you unnecessarily burden people with taxes, this is what goes on. I agree that we need as a country, we need to do a lot to reduce tax evasion. That's why I said...
the boss for
tax,
has spoken about it. She's not saying that it will be cleared, but she said, of course, we'll see some sort of reform.
Yeah. That is what I was telling you, that it's
said
just a microcosm of the bigger picture, because the report shows that beyond those porous taxes, borders, even rightful borders, including the Tema Harbour, including the airports and other rightful routes, taxes have been evaded by the day, held by corrupt custom officers and so on. They just take a paltry sum and allow bigger chunks of the money, in millions of dollars, to flow outside this country. So for me, it's a big issue, because everything in this country, even elsewhere across the country, people pay tax because they benefit from the investment of taxation.
And there's transparency, but it looks like transparency is also another issue.
See that even when, from Lawrence to Kufuor's time, the taxes were so low, at a point in time when 1 cedi was $1, you know, the taxes are pegged in the dollar term, depending on the currency in which
1 cedi was never $1.
The cost price.
But there was 1
it was
cedi,
even
that was
98 cedis.
2009.
Yes. 98 pesos to $1.
No, what did you do when your dollar was 1 cedi? Answer that question.
We know that
you knocked the zeros off.
No.
But still, the rate you have been knocked out.
Denomination at a point.
Yes, it was about 98 pesos to the dollar.
Rosalind, can we also knock the zeros off today?
If you want to do it, it will help.
It has no value.
Anyway.
The value is the same when the zeros were knocked out. So it was 98 or so pesos to the dollar. At the point in time, it was 1:1. And the fact is that when it was 1:1, the import duties were low. Still, importers and the fleet forwarders, what we call the agents, were still under the claim, where customers were still taking bribe at their various ports of entry. So the fact that when the duties are down, we will prefer to pay the duties than paying bribe is not here nor there. Because even if you reduce it for them, they will still prefer to pay lesser bribe than the reduced import duty that has been given.
But, Honorable, let me ask you this. The reduction of taxes will also help the cost of goods on the market. Because,
yes. That is a different discussion.
It's actually part of it.
Yes, we are talking about whether it's the increased duty that have resulted into bribe taking by officials at the port of entry. And I'm saying that no. Then it's a different discussion when we say that what can we do to reduce import duties so that cost of commodities on the market will also come down. It's another discussion. So let us look at the fact that the excuse that importers are giving, saying that, because the duties are high, that is why we pay bribe. And I'm saying it is not true. That is not true. Let us accept it. When the duties were so low, they were still paying bribe, and custom officers and agents are still doing their things to get this out of...
An importer is telling us that taxes are high.
I would
rather pay the bribe so that
and I have proven to you that even if you take 1 cedi, the importer will still want to pay 20 pesos to get his things out than to pay the 1 cedi. So that is not the excuse.
But it will still fight corruption to a certain level.
Exactly, we have to. That is why the paperless system has been introduced. And nobody can convince me that this paperless system has not reduced corruption in our port of entry.
As of now, right? There's paperless 50 and then there's paper 50.
No. No. It's 100%.
100% paperless?
Paperless system. Except that when they have a challenge, then they may... Even now, it is difficult. It's hard. The last time I heard that because of technical challenges, they have resorted into a paper system.
So how are they able to still poke into the system and allow
if you understand how the system works, they scan. For instance, if the container is leaving the harbor, it goes through a scan. Then the scan will be able to give a fair idea of what is in the container as compared to the items that have been listed by the importer. I have this, that in the container. If the customs officer is in a doubt, he flagged the container and asked the container to be offloaded for the items to be counted. So if an importer has brought you a list of items in his container and you scan it and you have any doubt, you have to offload the container and check whether the items in the container coincide with the list that have been given to you. What they normally do is that they will see that, oh, these items is this. The scan will give them fair idea that the quantity of items in the container does not correspond to the list given to you. But they turn blind eye on it and go. And that is why a task force has been set up. When they go and they have any doubt, they ask the container to be offloaded for the items to be counted. And when they find excess, you pay a penalty of 300%. So whatever, that is how the system operates. So whatever it is, if the customs officer wants to work and work genuinely, there's no way an importer can escape. Because anytime you have a doubt about the scan and what is in the container, you have the opportunity to call for the physical exam. What they call the physical examination.
Now we look at these borders where the problem is. And as we spoke about it earlier, it looks like there are bigger persons behind the scenes that are taking these monies. The lower ranks will have to be the ones whose faces will be exposed.
The load that is coming from our inland port is not so much that the customs officer should be able to do proper scrutinization to avoid some of these things. So these things that happens at our land borders are deliberate attempt to steal the nation. So for me, I'm of the view that, as I said, if you all want to stop it, you can come together one day and say, Ghana, hey, this is the way that we want to go. But as for taxes, no tax has been increased. What is happening is that the cost price of the items is being cost in dollars.
Okay.
And then when exchange rate goes high, it affects the import duty as well.
Right, but for now, we're still dealing with our porous borders.
So what we have to do is to work hard to bring the exchange rate very down so that importers will also feel
But we are not seeing it
happen.
Very soon.
The fuel.
Very soon.
How soon?
Very soon. We are, you see, when you don't have time, like I'll take you through the process in which we can work to bring the import duties down. One, we have the short-term measure, the medium and the long-term. Yeah. The medium measure is to make sure that you have a lot of dollars in the system. And that's what we are working on now. IMF is bringing some money. World Bank is bringing some money.
You are relying on
IMF has brought in money. IMF has brought in almost, we have just about
syndicated loan of about 1.8 billion is also coming.
It didn't drop.
We have been able to build our reserve to about $6.9 billion, which is about 3.1.
All right, let me read some comments. I'll come back to you, gentlemen.
So that is why you don't listen when I talk.
I said customs officers alone because they are only taking a cure for the greedy politicians who come to power as paupers, but now owners of mansions and hoarding millions of dollars in their bedrooms and polytanks. Indeed, corruption has been legalized by MPP whose appointees are wallowing in unexplained wealth with impunity. Nobody will sacrifice for a nation when leaders are flying on luxury jets and throwing kinky parties with careless abandon. Okay. Leadership is by good example. Pawili, a citizen, not a spectator. Pawili says we should leave the people alone because the politicians are even worse. Koresko Zakaria Sunyani says, whether Baumia within our poll, they will still lose. The city is suffering now 16 cities to $1. Mahama 4.2, Ghana cities inflation was 54%, now above 22%. Against Mahama 15%, I have had the steer at Techiman. What's he trying to say? I can't even see what he's saying. The Flagstaff House seat is for John Dramani Mahama come December 7th. Yesterday's campaign launch was the most scintillating with just a honed understanding. 25 economy, the Women's Bank, the abolition of e-levy, betting tax, scrap Article 71 holders, no extra share, COVID-19 tax, revive the sheer wicked collapsed banks, all with the big push in 1 million youths in code and votes for competence, experience, truthful and tried and tested. Good morning, Roslyn. NPP never again, NPP never again, NPP never again. We are suffering and tired of their lies. JDM will surely win by 61.99999%. Inshallah, Jerry Agbedo, Tema, Gulf City. Teacher Kujo Tepa Ayin Suano. Okay, the anger expressed by NDC members is what?
Tepa Enyina Suso.
Enyina Suso.
This is not a
okay.
Indiano.
Okay, Enyina Suso. All right. The anger expressed by NDC members is surely a reflection of how poorly Mohammed's campaign is going. Meanwhile, the NPP campaign appears to be heating up and attracting more and more supporters. It is clear that there is a stark contrast between the two parties in terms of campaign effectiveness. The NDC must address their shortcomings and find a way to rally their base if they hope to compete with the growing momentum of the NPP. Greetings to Honorable Eric Nana Ajiman Prempe, the incoming MP for Ahafo Ano South, and Honorable Elvis Osei Mensadapa, the incoming MP for Ahafo Ano South West. Good morning. The spate of corruption in this country is due to oligarchic nature of governance by the president and his surrogates. Until we deal with the government and its assigns? Okay. We shall see worse of these happenings. Rami Hassan from Tema. Okay. I'm happy Nanado got the chance to become president. Otherwise, Ghanaians would have thought they missed something. God is great. He has given us answers about this corrupt and Nanado Baulaya company. Patrick. Good morning, Roslyn. High cost of living, high interest rates, depreciation of city, and yet NPP is saying break the what? I can't think far. My regards to Dr. Grace Ayen Sudan Kwa, incoming MP for Isikado Kenton from Albert in Kojo Chrome, Isikado. Good morning, Madam Host. The facts is difficult to say, but respectfully, NPP is far better than the NDC. The difference is clear, i.e. free maternal health care, capitation grant, National Health Insurance Scheme, school feeding program, LIP, etc. Dr. Baumia and Dr. Napo Beba Basai Komla Matthias. Good morning, Madam, and your panels. We thank God for the life given to us on the day that we launch our campaign. We really appreciate. They should be there saying all that is all that. Okay. The people of Ghana need change, and in my constituency, we need change. Come December 7th, we would drive this government out of power. With these all, we will prefer change. Number one, under JDM, a gallon of petrol was 8 Ghana cedis, and the Kufuor Baumia government 60 Ghana cedis. A combined motorbike at a cost of 2,700 under JM and now 13,000 Ghana cedis under MPP. 50 kilograms of cement was at a cost of 35, now 100 Ghana. A tin of ideal milk was 80 pesos, now 8 Ghana. If I am to continue mentioning, we can't read all because of time, madam. We are out of change in the constituency, but not for money sharing MP. That's our financial minister, Dr. Amin Anta. That's Mr. Fatau Al-Hassan speaking, Karagat constituency. Sami Boache from Asamankese says, Professor Joshua Alabi has made it simple that it's better to vote massively for a person who will have a chance to seek for another election. Dr. Baumia and Dr. Matthew Pukuprempre has those qualities. Let's vote him for more developmental projects, and it's possible to protect the free SHS. Regards to Honorable Charles Echampo, MP for Asamankese, and Frankesi Edubekoi, aka Protocol, and the next MP for Suhum. Okay, so this is all time or permit. And are you voting? Are you voting? Yeah, we are going to take our final and then we'll
But
so
I
don't
also
forget
don't want
to dial star 281 to win 1,000 Ghana cedis. You stand a chance of winning 1,000 Ghana cedis. Sorry, please pardon me. So star 281 hash, select number 7, which is Joy Prime, and you stand a chance of winning 1,000 Ghana cedis. This segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Whatever gadgets you're looking for, I urge you to go to Franco. You can download the app on your phone, Franco Trading app, or you can visit the website www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone papa path. We'll draw. We'll actually be selecting the winner very soon. It's a draw, so I don't know who is going to win, but somebody will definitely win. Yes, I'll take your final.
Like, just a minute. I also don't want to be a spectator.
Just 1 minute each, please.
I want to be
a partaker.
A partaker to contribute to shape the program. I wake up. I got home around 11:30, 12 last night. Actually, because of the cool weather, I overslept. The rush in which I have to come to the studio, only for you to come and sit down for you to read your text messages to me and not get opportunity to flow as has been expected. I think I also deserve the right to sit at home, tune on to Joy Prime and be listening to the text
Honorable,
messages. I would want to suggest that we can do our discussions like the other stations are doing. We do our discussions, and when we finish, we read your text message.
Okay, point well noted.
That will also, because the text message is taking a chunk of our time, and we don't have time to. This is called discussion segment of the show, and you must have text reading segment of the show, not taking part of the discussion segment to read text messages. Other than that, I don't see the need for us to wake up every morning.
Point well made, but we have a lot of viewers who actually tune in. This is our structure of our show.
Exactly. So that's what I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm saying that you can do text message reading segment, but not to take a chunk of the discussion segment to read text message.
I did.
Other than that, we only come and sit down here.
I did barely 6 minutes of reading messages. This last one is barely 6 minutes. The first one was barely 6 minutes. It's actually
by taking 12 minutes of our time.
We started this segment at exactly 6:25. It's 7:44. And
well, it is just a proposal.
Unfortunately, you didn't come early.
I said
time.
It is a proposal.
Thank you for your
that
proposal.
You get a text message segment of which will not take a chunk.
But this is how we do it here. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We are very grateful. My viewers are very important to me too. So thank you
your panelists are not important to you.
I said two. I said my viewers are very important to me too.
You didn't add two. You have just added.
I did.
You are just adding.
No. You can
it means your panelists are not important.
Honorable, please.
Let's continue.
He has asked that we shouldn't waste the time and look at what he's doing. You see, my point is simple. You see, this program is actually long. Because if you start at 6 o'clock and close somewhere around 7:30.
And if you come on
some
time,
of the
you
programs only 1 hour.
I always come on time.
Today you didn't.
No,
and I've explained the reason why. And I was late for just 5 minutes. I got there 6:35.
The most important thing is that my friend was telling us that the stabilization of the city is going to come because IMF has given loan and there's a syndicated loan coming. We don't stabilize country currencies by what? By borrowing foreign currencies.
That's what you did. I was in Parliament from 2009. That is what we did. Anytime you see the exchange rate, it's going up.
1 minute and gentlemen, I have to end the segment.
Don't pretend you are in Parliament.
1 minute and I'll end the segment.
And you remember?
Thank you.
What did Baumia describe the exchange rate? That means the exchange rate. You were describing
but you see,
allow me to talk. That means the exchange rate because it was 1 cedi to 4 cedis. Today, 1 cedi to 16 cedis. What will we say? You see, when you mock at God, that is why every policy of yours will come crashing from paying phones with 1 cedi to all the policies of China. They come crashing even before we start describing them because you were using God to call an exchange rate at the time, midonyame. Today, this morning, what will you call your exchange rate?
All right. Thank you very much.
The fact remains that, as we speak, the NDC has not been able to tell us what they will do to bring the exchange rates down. I've been in Parliament since 2009, and what they do is that anytime they see that the exchange rate is the cedi is being pressed by the dollar, they go and borrow, whether be
Did you see the export
or to come and suppress it. That is what they've been doing. Okay. Apart from that, they have not been. And now,
so we
don't want to swell our debt to GDP, so nobody's going to borrow again. So they should come out and tell us what they are going to do. Okay. And what I said that he didn't understand is that we have 3 measures when you want to bring your
third measure, talking about
a measure, the short-term measure is now what we can do immediately to make sure that you have enough.
Tell us the long-term measure. I want to listen.
The medium-term measure is to make sure that you reduce importation and then make sure that you export more.
All right.
To get exports balance.
Manufacturing.
We do to get.
Negative.
That is manufacturing. It's not
industry.
What you are saying is not.
Okay,
and then long-term measure is to make sure that you go to higher industrialization to make sure that a lot of
budget appendix
So tell us what you do.
This is all time will permit. It's time for us to do our draw. It's time for us to do our draw. So if the numbers are ready, can we start with the draw?
Tell us what you want
Can
to
we
do.
start with the draw? So we are going to start with the draw very soon. And this segment is probably brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still phone Papa pair fee. And the numbers are the numbers are there. Who is gonna win? Who is gonna win? Who is gonna win? What number is going? So I'm going to start a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is the number that has won. Honorable, is this your number?
Maybe because.
So the number is 0540268, and then the last 3 digits.
How will I know the number?
You should know your number.
Where will they come? Yeah.
Okay, so this is the first one. So we have others that will be given.
You don't even know that you are.
We have others that will be given. So this is the first winner. And you can continue staking because we are staking all the way to 10. But this is our first winner. We'll definitely call the person and have a conversation with the person. And we'll get to know if the person has received the money or not. Okay, so this is real. It's happening. People are winning and winning a lot. *281#. *281#. A big thank you to my guests who made it to the studio this morning. Honorable Ayepe, who represented the NPP, and also Honorable Timothy Atabwade Awantarim, who represented the NDC. And my viewers, thank you so much for always sending your messages. Like I always say, I will try as much as possible to read your messages when they come. So continue sending your messages and continue staking. My viewers, when you send a message, stake too. Stake, *281. I want one of you to win. I wish Akisme will win. I wish I have so many of you. So many. Now I can't even mention the names. I want Akpaliok to win as well. So stake and stake and stake. Stake, *281#. And you select number 7, which is Joy Prime. And don't forget that my viewers, you are dear to my heart. My panelists, you are dear to my heart. And I will treat you all very, very well like I always do. Treating you well is priority to me, very paramount. And so thank you so much for making it here this morning. So we are trying to reach our winner. I don't know why my throat is doing this morning. Please pardon me. Please and please again, pardon me. And so we are trying to raise the winner so that we know that this is real. We're giving out the cash. Real.
So every one account will stick.
All right, so on that note, we are going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll definitely speak to the winner for this morning. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.